Stop right here. The sage is here, fellow weebs, and I have the list of the greatest isekai ever made. In today's episode, we will be looking at let's dive in. First up, we've got ReZero, and with Season 3 just dropping, it's clear this anime is keeping the isekai genre alive and kicking. Expect mind-bending twists, intense action, and a cast of characters that'll stick with you. But let's be real, there are two huge reasons why you need to watch this show. Now, if you're hunting for an overpowered protagonist, Subaru ain't your guy. Unlike typical isekai, he doesn't power up, he just dies. A lot, and each time he's yanked back to a checkpoint. Sounds cool, right? Trust me, after watching, you'll think otherwise. Next up, we've got the classic, Sword Art Online. And if you haven't heard of it, I've got one question. Where have you been? It's practically the blueprint for modern isekai. Imagine getting stuck in a VR game where the only way out is to beat the game. But if you die in there, you die in real life. This anime has it all, leveling up, battling fierce monsters, and facing betrayals from all sides. It's a high-stakes ride with plenty of twists. Plus, let's not forget the overpowered moves and, of course, a bit of waifu charm. If you're new to the isekai genre, this one is a perfect place to start. It's got action, emotion, and plenty of moments that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Next up is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And yeah, you read that right. Our hero is reborn as a slime. Not exactly anyone's dream reincarnation, right? But don't underestimate him. This world is filled with magic, monsters, and a ton of new possibilities. And our protagonist quickly finds out he's got one seriously OP ability. He can absorb anything, and I mean anything. Every time he absorbs something, he gains its abilities, making him stronger by the second. And if this is not enough of a reason to watch this anime, you also have... Next, we have No Game, No Life. Meet Sora and Shiro, two shut-in siblings who dominate every game they play. That all changes when they're summoned to a world where everything is decided by games. In No Game, No Life, they don't just play for fun. They play to win kingdoms, outsmart gods, and flip the rules of reality itself. Every game is a high-stakes battle of wits, and they never back down from a challenge. Their ultimate goal is to rule this entire world. If you like a smart protagonist who makes everything look easy, you will love this anime. And also, we have some great waifus to add to the list. Next up, we've got The Rising of the Shield Hero, a story where our protagonist gets summoned to save the world, only to be stuck with the weakest weapon, a shield. But it doesn't end there. Now Fumi gets falsely accused of a crime, becoming the most hated person in the kingdom. So what does he do? He grinds hard for revenge. That shield everyone mocks, turns out it can absorb materials and unlock crazy abilities, making it way more powerful than anyone imagined. The storyline's got its slower episodes, but if you're into leveling up and a solid revenge arc, this anime delivers. Oh, and of course, let's not forget, you've got some top-tier waifus to keep things interesting. Definitely worth the watch. Next up, we've got Overlord. And let me tell you, this is one of my top picks in the isekai genre. Our MC Ains finds himself trapped in a game world. But here's the kicker. He's already the most overpowered character in the entire place. No ordinary challenges here. With no way back to his previous life, he makes a bold move. Why go back when you can rule? Ains decides to conquer the new world with a squad of insanely powerful demons at his command, including a few waifus who are more than just loyal subjects. If you're a fan of god-tier protagonists, epic battles, and a dash of, let's say, spicy moments, Overlord will absolutely keep you hooked. Next on the list, we've got KonoSuba, and let me just say, this one is pure chaos in the best way possible. The MC Kazuma dies in the most humiliating way you can imagine, and when he's given the chance to start over in a fantasy world, he does what anyone with terrible judgment would do. He chooses to bring the goddess who offered him the deal, and surprise, she's more trouble than she's worth. What follows is an adventure that's less heroic quest and more of a comedy of errors. With a cast of misfit companions that are either too useless or too powerful for their own good, you're in for non-stop laughs. Trust me, KonoSuba is the kind of anime that had even me, the sage of waifus, laughing out loud. And while it brings the humor, there's also some surprisingly cool action scenes. And yes, a fair share of those itchy moments you've come to expect. If you're looking for something that mixes fantasy with pure comedy, give this one a go. Now, let's talk about Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, an isekai that takes the genre to a whole new level. Our MC, who starts out as a NEET with no hope in his old life, is reborn as Rudeus Greyrat. But this time, he's determined to live without regrets and to make the most of his new world. What sets Mushoku Tensei apart is its incredible world building and character development. Rudeus may have some, let's say, itchy tendencies, but the show digs deep into his growth, both as a person and a mage. The action is intense, the magic system is intricate, and the stakes are real. Plus, the animation quality is top tier. It really pulls you into the world. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without waifus that have their own charm and depth. If you're into stories where the protagonist learns from their past mistakes and works to truly become a better person while leveling up in insane magical ways, Mushoku Tensei is one you shouldn't miss. Next up is the Eminence in Shadow, an isekai with an overpowered MC who loves making grand entrances, showing off his strength, and most importantly, going atomic. This anime's got some top-tier waifus and the most satisfying OP action you'll find. With third season on the way, now's the perfect time to jump in. And trust me, the end of season 2 has a twist that's never been done in isekai before. No spoilers though. If you love secret masterminds, epic battles, and a bit of humor, you can't miss this one. Now last but not the least, we have The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, an isekai that flips the healer role upside down. Our protagonist, Usato, gets summoned to another world, but instead of becoming a warrior or mage, he ends up as a healer. But he's not your typical healer. His healing magic gets pushed to the extreme, and he's trained in the most intense, over-the-top ways you can imagine. This anime's got wild training scenes, hilarious moments, and surprisingly epic action. The healing magic in this world isn't just for saving lives, it's a weapon, and Usato uses it in ways that will blow your mind. With its fresh take on the isekai genre, if you're into OP characters doing things their way, this is a fun ride you won't want to miss. And there you have it, our top isekai picks. These are just my personal favorites, so if I missed anything, drop them in the comments below. And do support you fellow weeb by subscribing to this channel. Until next time, remember, one waifu at a time.